Hi everyone, happy Monday. It seems like it's been a while since my last video, but we had just one weekend apart, and here we are again. It's Monday, it's the start of another week, and I can just tell we're going to have a great week here in room A2. So there was no written homework for tonight, but I did want to review the math that we covered today in class because it's going to be what we're doing for the rest of this little unit. So tonight for homework, I do want all the students to do their 10-minute of their daily math log. They do need to read for 20 minutes and then just have an adult sign your planner. But today in math class, what we introduced was making an array. So the way I did it was on the active board, which was really great. The students were able to see the activity that I wanted to do, and we talked about it together. And then they were able to break up into partners and do it again. So behind me, it's a little hard to see, but there should be 12 little cubes. They're like little snap cubes. And what I told the students I had a problem, and that was I needed to arrange these cubes and to pretend that they're chairs. So I need to make an arrangement for students to watch a play. So every student needs a seat, and we have to arrange them into different rows. But the catch was it had to be the same number of cubes or chairs in each row. So I gave each of them 12 different snap cubes, and I had them do the activity first before I even did it up on the board with them. So they each had their own little snap cubes, and they had to make different rows using the snap cubes. Once I saw them do it one way, I said, okay, can you do it another way? And the students were able to see that there are many different ways of doing it. So let me show you just a couple different ways, and I want to talk about just the key ideas that I wanted you to take away from it. So again, there's 12 snap cubes, and we need to arrange them in different ways. So some of the students said, hey, let's just kind of start moving them around and see what I can do. So again, we're just going to move them into rows, and it has to be the same number in each row. So far I have 4, so let's just see if I can keep going. So I definitely need the same number in each row, or that wouldn't be fair to the audience members watching this play. So I can see it looks like I'm going to be able to use all of my cubes. So then I said to them, how many rows do I have? And we've talked about rows and columns a little bit, but now it's going to be even more prevalent because we're working with arrays. So if you remember, rows go side to side or horizontally, and columns go up and down. And I always remember what a column is because a column holds up a really big building. So the only way to hold up a building is to go up and down. So rows go side to side, columns go up and down. So then what I said is, how many rows do I have? And we said, oh, I have 3 rows. Here's 1 row, 2 rows, and 3 rows. That's probably hard for you to see, but I write down 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 rows. Then I asked the students, how many are in each row? And they raised their hand. They said, there's 4 in each row. So then I said, well, what would be my multiplication problem for this picture? Rows always go first. So there are 2 factors. My number of rows always goes first. So let's see if I can make this bigger. I think I can. Perfect. So if rows go first, my multiplication equation would be 3, since I have 3 rows, times 4, because it's the number in each row. 3 times 4, and we know automatically that equals 12 because I said you have 12 chairs. So 3 times 4 equals 12. I have an array that is a 3 by 4 array. 3 rows, 4 in each row, which equals 12. So then I said to them, is there another way that I could do this problem? So students are now raising their hand. I'm going to delete everything. I said, yeah, you can move it around. So they said, now make only 2 rows. So I said, okay, I'll just make 2 rows. So I'm going to take these out because now I only want 2 rows. But remember, I still need the same number of cubes in each row. So I'm just going to distribute them evenly. And look, it works this time too. So then again, I'm asking the students, how many rows do I have? Rows go side to side. I see 1 row, I see 2 rows. Here's 1, here's 2. How many do I have in each row? There's 6 in each row. There's none left over, and there's an even amount. So then I would say again, what is my multiplication equation for this problem? Rows always go first. So this would be a 2 by 6 array. And again, just because it's a different multiplication equation doesn't mean that my product or the answer is any different. So 2 times 6 equals 12. So then once I did this a couple times with them on the board, they were really raising their hands because they said, oh, well, you could switch it. You can make it a 6 by 2 instead of the 2 by 6. You could do a 1 by 12, a 12 by 1. So they had a really great time. They had that aha moment, and they finally realized, oh, my goodness, we've already been doing this. It's just another way to show our multiplication so we can make arrays, and again, kind of putting things in rows and columns. So this is probably going to be coming home very soon. I know there's no written homework tonight, but if you see this, what this is called is making an array. And you could do it with cubes. You can do it with any object at home. You can even draw X's or dots or even use squares and rectangles as well to help you. So that is kind of what we're working on now. We're learning about arrays, and we're just making sure we know the vocabulary. Again, this picture is called an array. Rows go across, columns go up and down. My first factor is always how many rows I have, and my second factor is how many things or chairs or cubes are in each row. So I hope that explained it a little bit. I hope that everybody gets to watch this tonight. You can always use this when there's homework in the future. I don't think we're going to have it till later on in the week. So you can always go back to this video and watch it, and hopefully this helps you learn a little bit more about arrays. So have a great night, and I will see you in the morning. Bye.